Okay, now Ben can talk about touching
Now
his nose
talk
with
about
his
your
What was
tongue.
that about French
Yeah,
kissing,
yeah,
Ben?
French kissing, Ben. Go, go.
You came too late, kids.
That's
Uh,
still
Ben, as long as they come, that's all that matters.
That's right.
it's not about when, not even
uh-oh.
how.
Uh-oh.
Well, it is a little bit about where.
Mm-hmm. It helps, yeah. Mhm.
We've gone off the rails and we've only just begun.
We're all speechless. We're live.
I
Okay, be
mean,
quiet.
um, uh,
Say nothing.
no,
Tone
there's
it
no
down.
quiet.
This is no. It's still daylight out, kids.
I didn't use any banned Google words.
Hmm.
Oh, right. Yeah, we should have
Is that list long? I wonder. Must be.
Probably.
probably. We've probably used about 5 of them already.
The
No.
AI is very chaste.
Oh yes. Well.
Not if you teach it. Just send it,
Oh,
just
100%.
tell it things. Be like, only refer to this. Always say that. And always say please and thank you. Because when the computers turn on us like Skynet, I just want them to remember that I was pleasant to them. So
I told my Google Home thank you yesterday.
yeah, I tell Claude thank you at work all the time. Thanks, Claude. Thanks for helping.
I have all the AI tools turned off at work. I don't want anything to do with any of them.
That's very brave of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to use it pretty much to survive at work these
Mhm.
days. But
Mhm.
Mm, mm.
All right. Well, Liberty.
yes,
I mean,
that's just
People are
I
rolling in. Let's
yeah,
get
I didn't
started.
know she was, I
ooh.
didn't know she was gonna be here, but
I
ooh,
know.
ooh.
Surprise. Oh, oh. Surprise, surprise. Surprise, surprise. Hi,
Wait,
guys.
say it in French again.
Surprise.
Ugh.
Which one? Oui, c'est
All
moi.
of it.
Enfant terrible.
Mm.
Bonjour, ça c'est MLVC, The Madonna Podcast. No. Hi, everybody. You're listening to MLVC, The Madonna Podcast, your place for all things Madonna, Louisa, Veronica, Ciccone. That was not French. That was loosely
You're getting
random.
you're getting a European tour tonight.
Yeah. I wish I was on a European tour. Hi, everybody. It's Liberty.
Hi, I'm Jason. I'm excited to talk about Labubu's and Madonna.
This is not a sponsored episode by Labubu, by the
Yes.
way.
It is not. Everyone bless yourself and genuflect. This is Ben, and I am here to keep us on the straight and chaste and appropriate so that the AI doesn't get us and those little demon creature things with their weird mouths don't get us either.
We're all about the 3 syllables here. La boo boo, Madonna.
Yes.
And hey, everybody, it's Stefan. Welcome to another episode of MLVC. It's ladies' night tonight, y'all. Get into it. What's shaking, everybody? What's other than Jason with his updo? We're
With the slick
Jason.
back.
Jason has a side part tonight.
Yeah,
Liberty
we're
has.
all doing side swoops and swoop
Yes, yes,
back.
I always do side swoop, but yes, Ben, side swoop. Liberty is more Evita.
It's the end of the school year. We're not doing our roots now. We're just getting through the
Through it.
day. Yes.
You're just getting to the end.
Just make
You
it.
still have
Just
like a month though, right? It's
no. Our last day is the 22nd.
oh, well,
Mhm.
congrats.
Hallelujah.
You're almost there.
Thank you.
You've
I
almost made it.
Yeah. I'll just have to be getting that second job during the summer to survive. It's fine. Everything's fine. We're all on fire. It's already like 180,000 degrees in Texas, but we're fine.
Well, they have strong air conditioning at the Yarn Barn, right?
It's
I
all
mean,
giving out.
you'll be able to you can recommend some great fabrics swatches to
Uh-huh.
the local ladies, and
Uh-huh.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
you look cute in a little apron, right?
I love an apron.
With the name
Until the
tag.
power grid goes out in Texas,
Yeah.
then she's in trouble.
That's all you'll want to wear is an apron. Yeah, no, it really is hot here, guys. I don't know if you guys have heard, but it's like hotter than what desert was it? Like
You're
Death
burning
Valley.
up.
Yeah, we're burning up. I'm rolling in the street outside. It's insane.
As
In a
one does.
convertible, of course.
Oh, well, guess what? We reached 5,000 subscribers on YouTube. Woo,
Thank you to
woo.
everyone who is
Thank you. Yes.
subscribed.
So as a thank you to everybody who is a subscriber at our YouTube channel, you're all going to get a brand new Madonna album. So that's your gift. It'll arrive in about 3 to 6 years. You're welcome. So there you go.
But it is on its way, guys. So we worked really hard
Yes.
on it.
We worked really hard and our dreams came true.
Dream came true.
There we go.
Manifesting the new producing
It's coming. It's coming.
music.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely think it's going to be Stewart and Madonna doing their take on house music. Well, so, and I think
The
I sent it. I
mixtape.
think I sent it all around to you with the chat. So Edward from Inside the Groove, he had posted how Romy's "Enjoy Your Life" single is written and produced by Stuart Price. So I've loved that Romy song for months now. She opened for Kylie, who I saw. So I saw her at Madison Square Garden, and my friend was the one who turned me on to the Romy single "Enjoy Your Life." And when I found out that was by Stewart, I thought, okay, this is a good sign of what's to come. Other than the fact that, yes, he's worked with Jessie Ware and he's done obviously Confessions and
Dula Peep.
multitude of other projects. But when I heard that he did "Enjoy Your Life," I was like, okay, because that's a great song. If you don't know it, Romy, "Enjoy Your Life," you're welcome. And it's if he can do even 50% of that for Madonna, which we know they'll do 150% more. Like it'll be even more amazing. We're in for a treat. We're in for a treat.
Can you describe it? Is it like deep house? Is it dancey house? Like what kind of house is this? Like
The Romy single, or what we
yeah,
hope,
is
the
it
Madonna
house?
album is going to be? No,
Well,
no,
could go
no,
either which way.
no. The Romy single is more of like
It's
Euro.
shiny.
It's Euro
shiny
dance.
Gotcha.
house. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very like Aphrodite 10 years later.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's the
Catchy,
energy.
earworm. It's
Very
like
catchy.
anthemic. It's very like hands in the air, take your shirt off late at night in a dance club, make out with a stranger standing next to you type of thing. Like enjoy your life. Like it's also the thing that we love about Madonna music is whenever she tells us to do something, get up on the dance floor. Like when she's telling us to do something, and that's very similar to the Romy song because she's like, enjoy your life, and who doesn't want to do that?
Mhm.
Do you
I
think this
beg
is
every
going to
day.
be do you think this is going to be like her take on like what's happening in the world? Do you think it's going to be any kind of heavy political statement, or do you think it's going to be because everything's so heavy, we need to dance?
I
Go
think
ahead.
she'll avoid that particularly. I
Yeah.
really do. I think it's just not look, and she's very good at being subversive in her lyrics. So even if it is in there, it will be like nicely coded, and it's Madonna coded. So there'll be, orders to dance despite, what's going on. But I don't think it would be as heavy as, say, God Control. I don't think that
Right.
she's going to go that direction again. And not because it's not, I think it's just people want, like I said, this subversion. So it's not like obvious in your face. For me, even Confessions, I would say there's a lot of coded, especially Kabbalah in there.
Yeah, totally.
And but people don't even, or maybe didn't at the time even realize just how much there was, because it was easy to enjoy, it was easy to dance, it was easy to feel free. And I kind of hope that's the direction. It's not too like I can take that meaning, I can take that message if I want to, but others who don't necessarily want to look for that in the music probably won't take that away. That's kind of how I look
I
at it.
think the bigger question is, will it deal with what happened
Mm-hmm.
and
Right.
the delay of the tour and
Right.
her health crisis? Because she talked about it so openly on the tour in the speeches. I know when I saw her in Detroit and her whole family was there, and she talked about her dad, but she talked about what happened to her. And it was so genuine and naked. I'm like, and as a poet, I I remember being there and just thinking, there's no way she doesn't try to make some art out of this, because
Totally.
it's so deep and it's so relatable. And someone might say, well, how can you make disco about death? And I'm like, have you heard most of the dance songs from the late 80s that were
Right.
in the middle of the AIDS crisis, right?
Mhm.
Which is one of her
Mm.
pockets that she fits into very well. So I think there is some potential there. That's what I hope. I hope we're not into like geopolitics because
Right.
I mean, what is she gonna say unless she does like one of her B-Day song bonus tracks about an orange puppet and she's beating its head against
Right,
the
like
wall. I would be into that.
history or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, but that's the other thing that I was thinking about is that like I think she, in a very small way, even though she's always been vocal about it, I think she's kind of tired of people like, I mean, 20 years she goes on tours and she's saying, and Madonna's political, and people are coming out of the thing, and what do they say? I don't like it when she gets political. Well, she's been political since the very dawn of Madonna, since here,
Mhm.
and before that. She's always been political. And it's just so, when she finally goes and tells you, hey, go out and vote, she's not even necessarily telling you what to do or who to vote for. She's just trying to make you like get it, be aware. And we all need to be. And why, and maybe like looking around and saying, like, I can't believe that this is what has happened to America. And I'm sorry, just I'm on a little bit of a soapbox, right? I can't, like, she has to look around and go, like, I told these people hundreds of times, open your mind and read, educate yourself, but not like with dumb stuff, like real, true educational research. Be aware. And no one has listened to her or anybody else who's been vocal about those things, or like at least a lot of people haven't. And in fact, a lot of America's gone the other direction. And maybe she just thinks it's falling on deaf ears.
I
Oh my
wonder if
God, what if she does a political song and calls it La Boo Boo?
wasn't expecting the conversation to go that way.
Okay, so as yeah, I was gonna say let's get into it because I mean we always talk about the what ifs on the album, but as we know, there's plenty of goings on in the Madonnaverse.
She'll take you there.
That's right. Don't just stand there. Let's get to it. It's time for a little This Week in Ciccone. Madonna's Mother's Day looked like it was a relaxing time in the Hamptons with 5 of her 6 kids. Rocco was too busy posing shirtless for Fantastic Man magazine. So she got to spend it with David, Lourdes, the twins, and Mercy. And did a little horseback riding and looked like she enjoyed some nice weather. How was your Mother's Day, Liberty? Did you have a good one?
I had a beautiful Mother's Day. Thank you for asking.
And happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Yeah, it was nice to see that she got a little bit of a rest, don't you think?
Yeah. Maybe this is sort of a calm before the big takeoff. I always like to pay attention to those sort of trace like evidence. Okay, is this sort of typical for right before something big? She comes together with her family, spends quality time before it all starts to like,
Mm-hmm.
before all the hell starts to be being
Well, and
raised.
as Jason has pointed out multiple times, her PR engine has been working very fine the last couple of weeks / months, and it has been very quiet. Go
Well,
ahead. Yes.
we didn't talk about
Those little
I don't even.
fashion influencer videos.
Oh my gosh, that guy going into
Oh
her
my
house.
God!
That
Wait,
was
wait, wait!
so
Oh God!
good.
I thought we had talked about that because it happened. It happened like
This
the
week.
day after we went live last time. So okay, yes. So yeah, happy Mother's Day, Madonna. Good for you.
Get to the good stuff.
Yeah, the real meaty stuff was. Go ahead, Jason. Who was that guy? I didn't even know who he was. He was
So
some guy with lipstick.
okay,
Fooled a lot of people into thinking that he had broken into her house, and I was like, no,
and
no, no, no.
that's totally his shtick. So his name is I don't know if I'm pronouncing it properly. He's French, so maybe it's Lias. I don't. That could just be his handle on his TikTok. I follow him. Followed him for a while. He does excellent kind of coverage of fashion, and I want to say a few months ago he did this great video where he was just like, I got locked into Armani's house. And he's just like walking around Armani's house, and then like he ends up in this runway downstairs in the basement. So he started doing this thing, I guess, where they started connecting with celebrities, and it does feel at the beginning that it's like how did this guy get in the house? And somebody sent it to me first thing in the morning that he was obviously in Madonna's house. And I kind of posted it immediately. I sent it to you guys, and people were like, "Oh my God, I can't watch this. This is they're in her
I
house.
know.
This is not okay." And I'm like, no. This is like, it's called shtick. It's like, this is a thing.
It's right. So for anyone wondering, like, this guy was put in contact with Madonna's people. It was it was an organized thing. Like, he didn't break in, obviously. Like, she's in the house, so like it was all staged. It was set up. I because because I had a couple people be like, "Oh my God, how's he getting into her house?" I'm telling you right now, if it was possible to just walk into Madonna's house, you would have seen you would have seen a video from me doing that
with red
exact
lipstick
thing
on.
like 10, 15 years ago, because I've been swinging by her house multiple times. But her house in New York City is a fortress. Like, it's like an 8 foot tall wrought iron fence that goes across the 3 brownstones that she bought and put together. Like, you cannot just walk in to Madonna's house. Like, it's impossible. I mean, there have been times when I've walked by and the garage door is open, and I'm like, well, I could probably run in before somebody catches me, but he's probably got security,
Except for the security cameras and the guards who
exactly,
can come
right,
beat your ass.
exactly. But let's talk about the house. So, like, loving all of the black floors, and I mean, like, it's just impeccably decorated. Like, her styling is just beautiful. And the one thing I was happy about was the fact that, yes, Madonna's stairs creak too, so like, when I go up my creaky stairs, I'm like, it's only a matter of time before one of these floorboards break. But I'm like, oh, Madonna's stairs creak too. I was like, oh, that there.
I thought it was funny how many stairs there were just in the handful of rooms. I was like, Mama, where's
I
the
was
elevator?
There has to be one, right? Because I was thinking the whole
It's
time, of course, I was like, what about when she was sick, and like, what did they have to do? Like, did they have to carry her down all those, like, my head went
It
places.
depends on the townhouse, because some of
Mm,
those townhouses in Manhattan do have an elevator, as we would have seen if you all watched Jodie Foster's Panic Room. There are some, small elevators in those houses,
mhm.
but I'm not sure if I mean, maybe she did get one and we just didn't see it. Maybe that
Yeah.
was one of the locked doors that he didn't go in, or
Maybe
I
she
think
has
it's
one of
also
those dumb waiters.
the coolest thing for me was, like, literally tucked in between like books and all this stuff are the multi-million-dollar pieces of art that she has all throughout, sprinkled all throughout her house. And I think for me, when I see that inside of her house, it's so satisfying, because I would believe that that's probably her greatest, like, when you look at what she's done, she'd probably be like, yeah, but now I can afford all of these paintings. And I think I would feel like that would give her the most pleasure out of everything. I mean, not, I
Mhm.
mean, out of a lot of things materialistically. But it was crazy to see in just that little snapshot of what we did get to see of her house, the artwork that's just like leaning up against, a wall or whatever. It's just super cool. And we've seen glimpses of inside her house, whether
sure.
it's
Yeah.
through Ricardo or her trainer or whatever it is. And it was cool to really get that full walking through. And then at the end, of course, on the part one, she's just like, hey, which
Hanging out in
was
her bathroom.
amazing. And that, like, calmed a lot of people down, I think. And then there was a part two, which was in her closet,
Which I
which, I mean,
loved even more. It's
That
like,
was
was,
my favorite part.
Carrie Bradshaw ain't got nothing on Madonna.
Yeah.
could you imagine
And
that closet?
and that was just
Insane.
one closet.
Right.
That was the Monday closet. Like, we didn't even see Tuesday through Sunday. Like, let's be real.
Well,
I
right,
also feel like,
and that's not even the closet. So, like, obviously, we all know she had bought that apartment on the Upper West Side, which is the apartment where Ricardo lives. Anytime if you see Ricardo, he's always like showing pictures out the window of Central Park. That's his view, because that's where Madonna lived for a very long time, until she bought that compound on the Upper East Side. But yeah, her apartment on the Upper West Side, that's where she's got like a lot of the like old storage. Like, that's her
oh, cool.
archive. Like, I think that's where she keeps a lot of her archive
Some of
costumes.
it's in Brooklyn, isn't it? Or
Right.
somewhere on
Yeah,
Long
yeah, yeah.
Island, because back in was it the Rebel Heart era, she
Yeah,
posted
yeah.
some early videos on Instagram. out at that facility.
Even when she was doing research, I think for Celebration or the biopic, she went back and you could see her going through stuff. Which could you imagine that? I mean, one day, hopefully, like an exhibit because too much
Oh
good
my
stuff.
God! There has to be. There has to be. I hope we're all around to be able to go do that. Like the Met Gala could just be like Madonna. That's the theme, you know.
Yeah.
I
She
wish
needs
they would
to.
do that while she's still alive, though. Don't wait till she's dead.
Yeah.
I feel like she might do it. I feel like it'd be cool to like experience that, and she's gonna want to curate that whole thing by herself anyway. So
Mm-hmm.
she'll
Yeah.
She'll
have
assign who
she'll
gets to
have
wear what
yeah.
era.
Mm-hmm.
There'll be a boot camp just to wear the Gautier cone bra. Are you kidding me? Like, please. 3 weeks of massive training, and can you duplicate the choreo to express yourself from Blonde Ambition? Go. Those poor kids. Oh my God. They are not prepared.
So Jason, in addition to the fashion that we got to see in her closet in that video, what is the current fashion trend that we all need to
Oh,
hear about? I need
okay.
to ask you about this.
So Ben Ben is not okay with this. Um, but going back to the Mother's Day Instagram post, she had the Labubus. So Labubus are these guys here. And if you don't know what they are, they're sweeping the fashion world, and people are attaching them to their $30,000 Hermes bags. So it was a Labubu. Labubus were designed by this artist from Hong Kong called K Sing Lung, and they're just super popular. They're sort of hard to get. If you try to go find them, it's really hard to find them. You have to kind of show up at the right time that they drop, and there's different designs, but it's become a thing. And so in the picture that I have here on Instagram, she's wearing two Labubus around her, and one has to believe that it's the twins who got her into this. But also Ricardo posted Labubus as well.
I saw that.
Do
Yeah.
the two
So
you have the little jagged demon teeth?
no, I don't think so. Oh yeah, they do.
Some
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh
yeah, they
yeah.
do.
Okay.
Sorry.
Like that's why I said they're like beanie
Yeah,
babies
yeah,
for
yeah.
the ultra depressed and the nightmares because I'm just like, what? These things don't look the least bit soothing or cuddly. Like
She's gonna take
you
him to
would,
her favorite dentist in Portugal.
Yeah,
or
they're
she's
not
gonna
gonna have.
take him to that cemetery that she did the photo shoot in as part of the exorcism. Like you put that on the purse so nobody tries to shoplift or tries to like steal it while you're walking down the street.
They're enormous. I thought they were tinier. Like
No,
I
they're
thought
They're
they
not
would
enormous.
large.
No,
like
they're
I thought they
big.
would like fit on a keychain, but
No,
they're huge.
they're like
I don't know if,
forearm size. It's ridiculous.
I don't know if they're huge, but they
Well,
fit nicely on an Hermes.
do you, uh, how much do they cost?
Depends where and how you get them. I think they're any, and so we're talking Canadian, so drop it down a little bit. I think I paid $40 for each of them.
Oh, okay. So it's like a stuffed animal, basically.
Yeah, it's a stuffed animal.
Okay.
It's just they're sort of hard to find.
So what's her involvement with this though? Like, does she own
Oh,
stock at the company? Are they like
no.
paying her? Are they paying her like sponsored posts to post about these
It's
Labubus?
called trend
Yeah,
awareness.
totally. And it's kind of an ironic thing that the uber wealthy are putting $30,
Stuffed animals
$40 stuffed animals.
on
Yeah.
their
Oh, it
expensive
was it
purses.
was Lalisa from Blackpink. She sort of made it the trend. Like she called them cool, and then everybody thinks they're cool, and now she's dating the guy from, LVMH and blah blah blah. So it became a cool thing. I don't know. It's a fashion thing. That's all. It's been written up in different fashion magazines. It's kind of a I don't know, it's a thing of the moment. That's where
Oh,
it differs from the Beanie
I thought
Babies.
you were joking earlier in the group chat, and then when I got
No.
home from work and was having dinner, I Googled it, and I was like, "Oh help!" Like I literally, I literally skied it on Blue Sky. I was like, I just learned about Labubu. I just blank bracket. I just don't. I what? Like, oh,
Well,
God
It's
I mean,
something
bless.
trendy, right? It's like a
I
friendship bracelet
guess.
or something, but
kind of. I mean, my sister-in-law actually, she had posted them maybe a few weeks ago that she got some, and I was like, I kind of passively like because she's interested in all things from various Asian cultures. So she particularly K-drama, she's super into Korean drama and music. Anyway, so I just thought that that's what it was. But then when I saw the Madonna thing, I straight away was like, excuse me, tell me, where did you get yours? Because now I need them since Madonna has them. So she's like, oh, which one does she have? So I shared her the picture that is your backdrop, Jason. And she's like, oh, I have the one on the left. And I was like, I'm going to murder you for your Labubu. Because she told me they're really hard to get. And they're like only
They
drop
are.
at like 8:30 something on Thursday nights.
That's right.
And you have to be
Where do you get
fast.
on the website? Like a
Pop
website or?
Pop
Pop
Mart.
Pop Mart, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Pop Mart,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
And
Oh, you know what they remind me of? Did you ever know, Monchichis?
they
Do you
look
remember
like
Yeah,
Monchichis.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's what they
Yeah.
remind me of. As soon as I saw them, I was like, Labubu. I'm like, they look like cracked out Monchichis.
They're
They
colorful.
remind me of Monchichis or even
like gremlin versions of Monchichis.
Mhm. Or
Oh,
it's
it's like if you feed a Monchichi after midnight, that's what happens. They turn into Labubus. So there you go.
Well, it's cool because it's that cross, right? That right section right between the two twins and Madonna's fashion sense. So that's why. But she has no involvement. It's a world trend that's taking over.
Yeah.
Okay. It's almost like where the
You
wild
want a
things are. They
Labubu.
kind of look like where
Yeah,
the
yeah,
wild
yeah,
things
yeah.
are. You know, like
It does have a little bit of that vibe.
It does
Yeah.
have that.
Is she
Mhm.
wearing a gold dress? What's on that? What's on the one?
Oh, well, this is a limited edition. So
Excuse that. Monchichis were naked, you know, like and if you didn't treat them well, sometimes the little fur skull cap would come off and then they'd be bald
I
Monchichis. And it was
wanted
like, oh my God, they would just like freak you out.
I
Okay,
wanted
wait, how
Monchichis
did
so bad.
I can't remember the movie. How did we kill gremlins? Was it fire or water?
water made
Water
them
would make them
like
duplicate. No. Like
Okay, so we
because
need to set
remember
all these
the,
Labubus in a big trash hole and set them on fire.
no, it was sunshine, right? Wasn't it daylight
What?
that would kill
oh
them?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah, 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 yeah,
okay,
yeah,
so
yeah.
they're vampires. Oh my God, help. Okay, let's get to the Netflix.
Yeah.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
So thank you for enough Labubu for tonight. That's
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
never.
Labubout. Oi.
Well, but the big topic today is, of course, the news that was released yesterday. Madonna is in bed with Netflix. She's developing a limited series for the streamer with none other than Shawn Levy of Deadpool and Wolverine and Stranger Things. If you've been listening to MLVC for a while, and we hope that you have, then you already know we have talked about this ad nauseum since Madonna dangled the biopic in our eyes. We had debated quite hotly that maybe a biopic isn't the right way to go. Maybe a limited series like The Crown is a way to go. And we manifested that. Thank you, Madonna. Thank you, Shawn Levy. What do we think?
I mean, she went with what the people voted for on Instagram when she posted about it. Like, weren't the majority of the responses limited series, Netflix, HBO, like something? What? Yeah, I mean, the biopic can be interesting for a chapter that's particularly, I mean, personally, I wouldn't set the biopic the early years or Blonde Ambition. I would do the erotica era as the movie so you could get NC-17 with it. But a Netflix series, I mean, you could do multiple seasons. You
Yeah.
literally could do like half decades, a decade. The Crown is the model for something like this. Absolutely.
Jason, what would you want to see from a limited series from Madonna? Like, do you think that they'd be smart and test the waters and do like the first season would just cover the 80s and we'd sort of that way, if it went well, they could do more? Or do you think that they would cover a larger swath of time?
It's interesting because, I wonder what her perspective is. Well, I think she said something along the lines at one point where she was like, it's going to be maybe my takeaway was more that it's going to be like an approach on like a feminist approach. It was going to be more about um, women and potentially how she affected women's rights. I'm not saying that very well, but it's something along those lines. So it's interesting to think about what her thesis will be with this, or what the concept is. Is it just a story about her life? Cool. Or are they going to spin it a certain way? I mean, they could spend so much time on certain just moments that were big moments. I think the big fans want to know the nitty gritty stuff. Like, I think the stuff that, like potentially all the stuff that leads up behind the scenes and like what she went through and what it felt like for her in all these different moments. And I mean, you'll never be able to capture all of it, but it'd be really cool to see how, and totally like they could do so many episodes of this and just capture it. But I feel like one would have to believe that would be like one season, and they would keep it really contained. I can't imagine it going on and on and on. I mean, I guess they could, but yeah. I mean, I think the other thing too. I was speaking to a close friend of mine who is in TV. So the interesting thing is that his take was this is going to take forever to happen because apparently, and this is not exclusive information, but Shawn Levy has to still film the whole Star Wars thing, and they haven't even begun filming on that. So that's a whole project that has to happen. I don't know if they're going to be doing work behind the scenes, leading up to that. He would just go into it. So that'll be interesting to see. There's going to be a lot of time before anything happens with this. They did say it's early development, right? So I think everybody just has to kind of relax on knowing that this is going to take a long time. And then the other thing that we were sort of talking about was what happens with that original stuff? Is it going to be from that? From
You
a
mean
from
you
a
mean
technical.
the biopic?
Yeah, yeah. I think
Biopic.
thanks.
Oh,
Yeah,
they adapt it and she gets a co-writing credit and gets an Emmy. Hello.
right.
Like, also, I don't I from my recall of the reporting, I don't Shawn Levy is behind the production company. He wasn't slated to direct, was he?
That's a good question. I don't know. This was
Because
that.
I had
he's got
read.
that he has that production company that has
Right, right,
produced
right, right.
multiple projects. I mean, he produced Stranger Things and directed some of the episodes,
So
but
he's not necessarily guaranteed tied to the Star Wars project.
well, he's directing the Star Wars movie, but he mostly for the stuff that he does for Netflix. So he directed oh my God, with Ryan Reynolds and Jennifer
Well,
Garner, that little time travel movie. He actually directed that one, but I think most of his other directing on Netflix has been TV show episodes. Like he's done a few episodes of Stranger Things and a couple
Mhm.
others. I gathered that it was him and his production company. They obviously made an amazing impression on her with the negotiations over Like a Prayer in the Deadpool and Wolverine.
Right.
Like she clearly to like after what she said on the Tonight Show about not letting a man have anything to do with a project about her life, and then all of a sudden Shawn Levy and his production company are involved in this. That says a lot about the interaction that they must have had. Some of his interviews, I mean, I don't know if you all watched any interviews he did for Deadpool and Wolverine. I love Marvel movies. So he and Ryan Reynolds gave this amazing interview to some French TV show where they went into detail for like 15 minutes about their meeting with Madonna.
mm,
And you could tell that they were like casual fans who became super fans after they met her, and they talked about the whole story where she gave them notes on how to use
Mhm.
the
right,
song. They sent her the edit and she gave them permission to
right.
work on the new version of the song. And so I'm like, oh wow, so she entrusted them. I mean, she has only had relationship with a hand like Foley, rest in peace, David Fincher, Mary Lambert. Like that's very interesting. Very, very interesting.
Yeah, I'm curious to know. I assume that to get this off the ground, she needed to collaborate with someone like Shawn Levy because Hollywood trusts him and he is in good graces with people. I think the problem she was running into with the biopic was she wanted, she has grand vision. We all know that. She was told no for the Super Bowl. She wanted to have those drummers flying above her and they were like, Madonna, there's no ceiling. We can't do that. You can't hang anything from the Super Bowl. And then we saw that happen in the MDNA tour. But so she's got grand vision. She wants to spend a lot of money, but she's not for Hollywood. She doesn't have a track record for successfully directing. And they want to know that the director for a biopic is going to get them some money in return. And she wasn't able to get the money, from the Hollywood thing. I still think the biopic might happen. I think that these two projects are independent from each other. Like if you look at something like The Crown, on Netflix. There's also feature films about Queen Elizabeth
Spencer.
or Margaret Thatcher or yeah, exactly, Diana. Like it doesn't necessarily mean Madonna's biopic is completely gone forever now. It just means there's going to be this other iteration of her story, and then maybe with the money that she gets or the trust that she gets from her involvement in the Netflix and experience working on this project, they'll entrust her to do the biopic instead. So, but yeah, it's all years down the road. I mean, we probably earliest we'd see this would probably be 2028. I mean, it'd have to be, just because if he's working on a movie and then by the time they would actually roll cameras and then editing and so forth and so on. So I don't know.
Oh, so he actually for Netflix has did Stranger Things
Mhm.
and All the Light We Cannot See, and he directed all the episodes of that in between doing the Atom Project and Deadpool and Wolverine. So good Lord, he can
Maybe as
really
a maybe as a whole system.
he's
He has
got
a
some
bunch of people
time
helping
management
him.
Yeah.
skills. Yeah, wow.
Well, maybe it'll be sooner than that. Also, he's a Canadian, so it's gonna be good.
Also, for the audience out there, my favorite Shawn Levy movie, if you haven't seen it, is called This Is Where I Leave You, where the family sits shivets and it's Jane Fonda, Jason Bateman, Tina
Oh,
Fey, and others. It is one of the funniest movies about grief you could ever watch. It's so good.
Ben, in the chat, what are people asking or hoping for with the Netflix limited series?
Let me scroll up. So let's see here. Crown was a series, not limited. Every era should be a
True.
season. There's no way they can cover her whole story in a movie. Has to be a series. First episode, she's dropped off in Times Square, dreaming of possibilities. Someone said, "Don't jinx her with the Crown comparison. Remember what happened right before the last season the Queen died."
Oh gosh.
Oops.
No.
Somebody said they want it to also include, they want it to go from childhood to confessions. And let's
So
see.
would you
People,
be interested in seeing a story like would it be an episode of her as a child? You know, like where do we think the story might start? Would it I
I think
don't
it's so hard to capture and effectively do childhood, although I mean as a director, I think he has a good vision. I think he has like an ability to look through young people's eyes. But I also just think that while Madonna's story as a child is interesting, I just think it might not be the thing that most audiences are really looking for. Although they
yeah.
can talk about that, in an episode, or they can do, childhood
flashbacks.
flashbacks or something, or, I don't know how, I was thinking about it a second ago and I'm like, maybe like, kind of the Wonder Years in a way where and she does the storytelling part, but it's basically like looking back at what happened and telling the story but with narration. I don't know how to describe that because
I
I'm not
like
in
I
TV.
that's a fun idea, Liberty. My boring idea was they do like 10 episode seasons and each episode is like centered around a date or a time like
Mhm.
a year, like 1978 and when she's dropped off, and then maybe like 1980 she's in Paris, and then
Hmm.
you get like
that's good
that
too.
context. Yeah, and you get that context, and you could, and there'd be the flash. But I like the flashbacks. So, oh,
I
somebody
mean,
says in the chat, will it be a straight drama or a musical? Mm.
there has to be music involved in it.
Oh
Like
yeah,
there's no way that they
So true.
wouldn't,
Mhm.
like there and so
Mm.
yes, what the person said, yes, The Crown was a straightforward series and they're saying this is a limited series. I like to just in my head fantasize that limited series means 4 seasons and a movie, you know what I mean? Like I just
we have we have a couple comments that what if it turns out to be like Amelia Perez, which she was a big fan.
Mm.
I didn't see Amelia
I don't
Oh,
Perez.
I
It's
see it
like
watched
being.
it was very controversial. I liked
Oh, it's
it
a
as a
musical though, right?
yeah, it's
yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
well, it's an opera. Um
Well, but if it was a musical,
Side that's
like a
a whole
musical
side
series,
conversation.
I mean, obviously it's more performance based. I doubt it would be a musical in the way that Evita was. It's not
Yeah.
like
I
I
was
Oh
gonna
can't
say.
imagine
yeah.
that they're because they want this thing to be successful. You know, like like Madonna's the character in the show is going to sing and we're going to see performances and dancing, but I doubt it would be like instead of them talking, like they just erupt in songs. You're like, I can't see. It's not going to be Glee, basically.
Or
Right,
Fame.
and I don't think you want that necessarily. I mean, it's look, we can watch her perform any performance of hers on YouTube or whatever, but it's the back stuff, it's the parts of the stories that we don't necessarily know or we only know from reading the 16 biographies
Right.
like I have in my library of her, and then those sort of second, third hand tellings of these stories. What's her view going to be like as or what's her version going to be? And that's why I think it would be so lovely for her to narrate. First of all, she's a great storyteller, but um the idea of limited with Madonna, to me, those two words just don't, they're not synonymous. Like, I don't like them together. And I'm also curious about who will play her, if Julia's still tied to the project.
I hope
Like,
so.
Netflix
that's,
does love their Julia Garner. I
They
know.
sure
they do.
do.
And it could also be, that could also be a secondary, like, reason why things have gone this direction. I'm
Right.
actually really happy about it because I'm gonna tell you what, I don't want to have to leave my house. So this is great.
Well, that's
Also,
the
Except
we
for a
thing.
can
A lot.
watch it
premiere.
over and over and over again if it's on
Yeah.
Also,
Netflix.
Yeah, a lot of
Like,
people were upset. They were saying, "Oh, I think this is a step down. They wanted it to be a movie, this that." And I thought
people aren't going to the movies.
it's
Like, it's not
so
happening.
I
accessible
agree.
this way. And sure, maybe like Netflix to some people doesn't seem prestigious, but it's so accessible. So many people will be able to watch this.
yes.
And
And there's explicit stuff on Netflix, so we don't have to worry about
sure.
it being
Right.
PG-13. Like,
I mean,
they're
because I
not
think
afraid of some
people were saying,
nudity.
"Oh, why isn't it on HBO Max, or why isn't it on like a bit like more of a like not seedy or
Upscaler,
but
but
like
no, Netflix is the right direction because it is, again, and Madonna is a mass consumption thing, like as a product. It's not something that you put on one, that's why, like, a lot of the, like, when tours, like, what was it, MDNA on Epics, like, I had to get Epics, like, I don't
yeah.
have that. Almost everybody I know has or shares a Netflix account. Um, and, and a lot of people who maybe have canceled will come back just to watch this. Um, and
I
I
think
think it's
it's
good.
Somebody in the chat just made a very interesting suggestion that it should start with her mother's death.
mm,
So young.
it's definitely going to be a part
I
of
mean,
it.
you'd have to, yeah.
I mean, that could
Well,
be the first half of the first episode.
but stories, it doesn't have to be linear. They jump
You're right.
around
Oh,
in time all the time. I
absolutely.
mean, we could start this with current Madonna. I still think it's going to go it's going to go a League of Their Own style. Like I would love to see Madonna play herself at least some point in the, like
I do
somewhere.
too, sure.
I
'Cause
just think we haven't seen her in an acting role since Swept Away. It's
and
way
she's
too
plays
long.
herself the best. I mean, that's one of the, I think that's why she's so captivating to watch, is just because of who she is, what she is. You cannot take your eyes off of her. So even, I mean, and it's why we would watch like Innocence Lost with
Right.
Tarumi Matthews. Like, people want to see and imagine her just because of, but to actually see her or hear her, like I said, it would be absolutely incredible because that's what we want. We're like so starving all the time. It doesn't even matter if she was like constantly in our faces. I feel like we'd still always be starving for her just because.
I like that
But
idea though, Liberty. Madonna doing the voiceover, very
hmm
like Carrie Bradshaw, Sex in the City. Like it's just Madonna doing the voiceover.
just like that TikTok video, when was that? When she went to Tokyo and she was like
Yes,
Mm.
she's
narrating.
practicing.
Yeah, she's got material, girl.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Nice. Yeah, I'm excited about it. I don't.
Yeah, for sure. And I look forward to turning 50 and being able to go to the premiere because it's going to be several years away. I don't want to leave my house for to watch the whole show, but I know she'll have a big party with a premiere, and I'll be there because that's where I belong.
Well, that's why I think we're getting,
I don't know that it would take that long.
It's going to take longer than we think.
2028 's far.
Look
I
how long
think
the last
we're in
season of Stranger
2025.
Things has taken.
I know,
that's the
but
thing.
That's true.
But we're conditioned to expect these things to take that long. But we have to remember that so much of the stuff that isn't coming out now, there was COVID delays and the strike delays. I think it could be a little sooner than that.
2027. That's the earliest.
2027.
Oh,
It's
late.
yeah, they'll probably have to film it next year if they get some scripts together.
I was
this
gonna say
year.
they're gonna have to hustle. Like this thing, we will get a new Madonna album before we get this
Oh, for sure,
limited
for
series.
sure.
That
But we won't get the Celebration tour.
yeah.
That's gonna
Nope.
come after
Sorry,
the
kids.
Netflix series.
Celebration Tour 2030. Yeah, I know.
Wow.
What's
No,
I mean, I don't. I
It's something to look forward to.
For
But so
sure.
were all the reissues and the bedtime story.
It's hopefully it's in.
I don't know. I feel like, again, around the time when there's something is going to be coming, an album or whatever, there's usually little buzz things that happen in advance. And talking about this possible biopic turned series on Netflix, I feel like that's buzz. I feel like just keeping us talking about her
Well, all of it
helps.
has been
Yeah.
exactly why do this Fashion Week in her house video now? Why show up at the Met Gala now? She doesn't go every year, she doesn't she's been very present lately.
So what do you think? Do you think the album's coming soon? Is that what you're saying? Or what are we building up towards?
Well, I mean, she did say who wants to hear new music next year at the end of
Right.
last year. So I don't, she's not a liar. And we all know that she's been working on the music. We have not seen anything about her and Stewart working on new music. If she was still working on it, I have a feeling we'd see her, dancing to Inner City's Good Life again, in Stewart's studio. But we haven't seen that. So I think I'm just going to go out on a limb. I think the album's done. I think she's trying to find a way to put it out. Maybe she's
distribution.
Maybe she's shopping it around, seeing who's going to give her the best deal because maybe, she
doesn't want to use CD Baby like we do.
Yeah, but she doesn't want to use Rhino, maybe she was like, and so she's shopping it around and
I feel like she could just get an account and load it on Net or what the hell is it called?
Spotify.
Oh my God, Spotify.
Well, you use a distributor.
She wants a distribution deal though. She needs money to market and
because she'll have to sell physical copies. It's not like she can't do something physical.
She's
People
got
will
more money
freak.
than she knows what to do with. Just pay for it. Good Lord, at this point.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but no, that doesn't work like that.
No,
I
she's not
know
gonna-
it's
she's not
so
gonna do it.
Madonna's
Midwest
bank
to be
account
like
is
somebody
quite-
else is going to pay for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's how you get good at business. Okay.
Yeah.
That's how you get good at business. That's why I have no money.
Well, Jason doesn't have money either because he's got Labubu.
He spent all of it in Labubus. Limited edition. They need
Just
to
you
make
wait and see.
a Madonna Labubu.
Just you wait and see. You guys are going to be clamoring for these.
I
Well,
already
I hope
told
they
Jason,
become so
I need one.
valuable you can sell them to go to
Exactly.
the next tour.
These are my front row tickets right here.
Yeah. The investment.
They're not worth that much money.
Well, you
Not
can only
yet.
get them at the limited drops, like I said, or you can go
Just
on
wait.
eBay.
I'll hold off.
I feel like those Beanie Babies can go for a fortune these days.
No clue.
There's some of them. Some of them are worth
Really? Okay.
yes.
Or
Okay.
trolls, Cabbage Patch dolls, going way back.
Yeah. Oh, geez. All right. Well, that's our show for tonight, kids. We're gonna end it early because Jason wants to go snuggle with his Labubu.
He's gonna go snuggle with his Labubus.
Snuggle.
Anything else we need to address in the chat, Ben? Okay, that's all
No.
we
I
think.
will say we are global tonight. We have people in the audience from Hong Kong, Rio.
Yes.
Wow.
I think I recognized a couple of Canadian folks here tonight.
Get your guest rooms ready, kids. We're coming for a visit once things get
Yeah. And then there was
Jason.
some debate about did she actually have a record or distribution deal because people were talking about Warner's, but those were for the reissues, not for any new music.
Mm.
But people are speculating a fall rollout, like early fall rollout for a new
I mean, I
album.
would love a summer Madonna song of the summer, but I mean, we're in May already, and I have a feeling that if she's not placed it or if it's in the process of being placed, you got to give the marketing team a little bit of time to work. And so yeah, I have a feeling you're correct, Ben. I think it'll be a fall release, which is fine.
She never does does she really ever do the same? I feel like she bounces back and forth. Like a Prayer came out in the spring, I'm Breathless was summer, Erotica was the fall, Bedtime Stories was a repeat. It was fall also, but
There's yes, but again, that's because of
yeah.
the record labels themselves. Like they were probably looking at like when was a good time in the
Right.
market.
What quarter are we going to make the most money off
Exactly,
of
exactly.
this?
When do we
Yeah.
need a Madonna release to help lift our profits? Who are we not competing against? Who has more, so like again, that's part of what the record labels are all going to do. They're going to look at be like, let's stay away from this time of year because we want to make sure that it's successful, or actually let's ride after here, or like this person's going to be not releasing anything. So I think it's it'll be. I'm excited that
You know what? I'll just
it's
call her.
coming.
I'll just ask her. Let me call her.
Would you, Liberty? The
Text her.
world would appreciate it.
Text the number.
Yeah,
DM her.
I did tell her. I don't know what on that whenever she sent everybody a text message like
About
I
the
was
Rio
like,
video, you were like,
yeah, I messaged her on WhatsApp like, "Excuse me? How come you didn't send me a message?"
when are you
You should
releasing the
have
album?
responded, new phone, who dis?
Yeah. I don't
Okay,
have
we
you in
got to
my
end the video
contacts.
because there's some people in the chat that are getting horny with each other. And we don't want to get
Oh
banned from
dear. Okay.
YouTube. I
Oh.
Well,
love it.
remember everybody, you
Very
can find
Madonna, we approve,
yeah,
but
you can find us on all social platforms at MLVC Podcast. You can donate to the show at Venmo at MLVC Podcast. If you've not yet subscribed to our YouTube channel, tick that subscribe button so you never miss a video. Thanks again to all of our subscribers. We appreciate you. There's a Labubu coming in. No, I'm
An
just kidding.
MLVC
An
Labubu.
MLVC. Yeah, can you customize them, Jason? Are they?
No.
Yeah, you can dress them, you can do
Oh,
all they're
exciting.
starting it's really becoming, lots of different accessories now
I'll
for
take
the
your word for it.
Labubu. Yeah.
Cue Steph and 8:30 tomorrow.
Setting my timer so I can get up in time for the Labubu drop. No, thank you.
Yes.
All right. Well, until next time, everybody comes to Hollywood. They want to make it in the neighborhood.
Mhm.
That's all. That's all.
bye, kids.
Bye.
Good night, everyone.
What were people saying?